Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of RekietaLaw, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And today, my free speech is under attack. It is under attack. My channel, my livelihood, my fish, my cats, it's all under attack. Everything is under attack. So anyway, yeah, we've got quite a doozy of a show tonight. We've got hey, what's up, Legal Vices? How you doing, Jeff? We're going to cover a lawsuit, probably the most important lawsuit in this or any generation tonight, which is my lawsuit. My lawsuit in which I am, what the fuck? I got all this. What is all this shit that's open? How many windows do I have open? Oh my gosh. What's all this WTF Wednesday stuff? Okay. We're covering my lawsuit in which I am being sued by an idiot. I'm being sued by an idiot who either doesn't understand the law or does understand the law and is being a dishonest pile of garbage. I'm really frustrated. I guess I'll have to sue the U.S. government to make up for this. Because the U.S. government is the reason that I have this person in my life in the first place, as I have gone on to explain in the most serious way possible, the 100% true story that when you get to be a certain size as a creator, and I mean, it's like there's not like a definite number. It's like a feel, right? Because the U.S. government doesn't do things by numbers anyway. So when you get to be a certain size as a creator, the Americans with Disabilities Act actually had a recent amendment where they have an enforcement arm of it. It used to be that you would sue under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Like you're in a wheelchair, wheel yourself up, and you like want to go in, but there's like a lip that's this big to get into a store. And you're like, where's the ramp? Where is the ramp? I can't get in. I just want to go in and buy some Skittles and an Arizona iced tea or whatever, and I can't get in because there's no ramp. So then you're sitting there crippledly, like weakly trying to get in, and you just can't do it. So you would sue under the Americans with Disabilities Act. You know, if you win, the place has to put in a ramp. They have to pay you. They have to do all this stuff. No longer. It's 100% true. Now they have an enforcement division that goes out and actively seeks out ADA violations. And when you are, when you're of a certain size on social media, obviously not of stature, right? That'd be crazy. But on social media, they assign you a retard. And look, it's not my choice of words. People get after me for this stuff. This is a legal term. This is a legal term used by the Americans with Disabilities Act enforcement arm. They say, all right, you're big enough, you get a retard. And sometimes they do it in like convention style or like auction style, where all these social media creators are out there and they're like, you get a retard and you get a retard and this guy gets a retard. And they just handing them out. They just walk over. They're like drooling. They come on. No, this is not to be confused with like someone with a mental disability or like a birth defect or like Down syndrome or a chromosomal disorder or something like that. No, get that out of your mind. That's the old way of thinking. Frankly, it's very offensive. It is highly offensive that you would associate the mentally handicapped with the word retard. That is not at all what's going on here. We are talking about We're talking about the new meta for retard. Government approved. And in my case, it's a person called Montagraph. I mean, this sounds ridiculous. I know, but I have to point out that this is a real thing that really happens, 100% true. And it's just new. That's why people are like, this is so crazy. Like, why would the government issue a retard to anybody? That's very strange. But they do. And social media is often strange and confusing. If you're on the outside looking in, it's like through a looking glass and everybody's upside down and fat. Or sometimes they're skinny when they should be fat. And you're like, this is weird. And that's just more of the same. We're in a new world, folks. A whole new world. So Montagraph is mine. And so now I know I have once I can resolve my own lawsuit, I have a claim against the U.S. government, because when they sign you up for this program, it's not like you don't sign up, right? This is the government. They sign you up. They send you the letter and they're like, you're doing this. Here's yours. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But they're not supposed to go off the rails like this. They're not supposed to sue you. They're just supposed to be silly. They're supposed to be in the background. They're not supposed to be taking up time. I've got a damn show to do. This is a real job with a schedule and plans. I can't be spending it talking about my retard running around. What are we doing here? What a waste of resources. What a waste of energy and effort this has become. But it is time to go through it. I mean, it's happening. So we gotta go through it. All right. So I'm very sorry to do this to you guys. I know the last thing you want to do is hear about me. Hear me bitch about my problems and issues all the time. So you don't want to deal with that, but unfortunately you got to in this case. So what we're going to do is go through this lawsuit from start to now. I mean, it's not finished. Hopefully it will be soon, but we're going to go through it start to now. All of these documents are public. What I'm going to do is summarize the very first part of this lawsuit because it has become irrelevant at this point. But I'm going to summarize the irrelevant events that have brought us to the filing of the amended complaint, and then my lawyer's response to that amended complaint. All right. So, we're only going to look at one document from the summary because it's the first document. Do we even need to? We don't even really need to. I'm going to gloss past it because all of that stuff does get incorporated into the amended complaint. Okay, so we won't do any documents from the summary. What happened, I'm going to tell you the timeline of what happened. We'll say that. I'm going to tell you the timeline of what happened and summarize those events, and then we're going to read the documents. And if you've been following along, you may know what these events are already because I've bitched about it some. So some of this may be reviewed for some of you, but it'll be a nice way to go kind of get back into it. All right. All right. Before we get started, there's a bunch of members and a super chat in here that I want to read. Tara Rayner says, hiya, your favorite Canadian. Just came across a video the other day from Andy Signor, and it turns out you are featured in a Depp documentary from France. You, Tug, Andy, and most of the male tubers are infected with misogynism. I know. It's a special thing in the world to have this much misogyny boiling inside that the nation of France has to come out and tell the world about it. But there's that. Okay, we've got some new members. Richard Winter, welcome to paralegal status. Same with Lacey, thank you. Lisa Compton, welcome to paralegal status as well. JD, thank you for 10 months at paralegal. And Brad Best, welcome to lawyer status. So thank you for all of those memberships here on YouTube. I do want to remind people that I have a locals page, RekietaLaw.locals.com. If you want to follow along and interact with me as a creator in a completely like different and more casual way, especially off stream and stuff like that, I have a locals page where I do a live chat. I do exclusive locals videos. Typically every night after one of these videos, we'll do a locals stream as well for 30 to 60 minutes of additional content. On occasion, they've been a little few and far between lately, but we'll be getting back into them more soon. There are cooking streams that I do where it's just me cooking and chatting, and like I tell you how I cook the thing I'm making. But all that happens on RekietaLaw.locals.com. And if you're on the YouTube page, the chat has pinned links to all of my links. It's pinned. It's a comment by my mod, Kalea the Vampire. And then if you're on Rumble, you can do the join button right there on Rumble to join up on locals. So there is that. But yeah, so that all exists if you're into that sort of thing. And finally, as a last couple like housekeeping things, I will be back on the Murdaugh trial tomorrow, and I believe Monday and Tuesday I'll be doing those. I don't think I'm able to on Wednesday of next week, but tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be back on the Murdaugh trial. I know there's a bunch I got to get caught up on, so that'll be fun. And then I guess a huge important thing to mention is the Las Vegas show, live show in Las Vegas, the 26th of February. So just coming up a week from Sunday will be the live show. There's still tickets left. We have sold 151 or something tickets. I don't know. Did I put that link? I might not have put that link in the description today. I did not. Let me put the link in the description. Feb 26th. There still are some tickets if you're able to get out to Las Vegas and you want to come hang out with people, meet people, have a good time, meet me. We'll do a live sort of panel comedy show similar to like a live stream that we would do. But there's some other people are going to be there. Dick Masterson, Camelot. Dick Masterson was on last night. Camelot will be on tomorrow. Lead attorney, he'll be on tomorrow as well. We've got Danny on Direct is going to be there. Andrew Bronca, Steve Gosney. So a lot of people you see on the channel will actually be there. You'll be able to meet them, say hi, shake their hands, call them gay or whatever you want to do. Don't do that. That was a joke. And then and we'll have just a fun night in Vegas with some drinks at the Ahern Hotel. So you can join that. I'm putting the link in the description on both YouTube and Rumble right now. While I'm thinking about it, I should have done that beforehand. My apologies for being frazzled. I made this link today while I was actually recording a show with PKA. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the PKA podcast, but it's some good dudes sitting around talking, just having a good old conversation. Nothing majorly of no major important topics, just having a good time. One of them is a YouTuber I used to watch a long time ago. His name is Kyle, but his YouTube name was FPS Russia. He used to do gun reviews with a Russian accent and was immensely popular. And then, some shit went down, we'll say. So that will be uploaded, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday or something. But yeah, so that was fun. Okay, I think I've got everything. Amazing Wireless 2 says, I'm having deja vu. I think I heard this show the other day. You may have heard a preview of it on my local stream, but we're going to actually go through the documents themselves. And so I'm pulling up this first document, and then I'll do the I'll do the intro here. Complaint. Answer. Okay. All right. So I think this is it. What? Are we having trouble? Whoa. What is going on with this? Hold on. There we go. All right. There's the amended complaint. All right. So here is where we will start with this summary. So bear with me. This is going to be a narrative part of the show. Oh, shit. We do have a locals tip as well here. Protocaster says, RekietaLaw newest update based on the expert in the Murdaugh trial today. Based on the upward angle and the distance of the shot that killed Paul, it could only have been Attorney Tom. It came from ground level. Very nice. And Occupant 42 says, can you sue the government under the Manga and Mosh Warranty Act since you got a defective retard? Yes. Yes, probably that. And a Section 1983 claim for deprivation of my civil rights. Okay. So here's the narrative of what happened. All right. Here's the narrative of what happened at the beginning of this case. So Montagraph hired a lawyer in my town, a lawyer that I have met, I've worked with, against, kind of, whatever, however that kind of works out. Before, his name is David Schneider, and he seems to be generally a nice gentleman. His firm is Schneider Madsen, and they typically do workman's comp claims because there are a couple places in town, Genio and Hormel, that tend to be the type of places where you'd get a workman's comp claim. And so they do that, and they do other various legal things too. Small town law firms tend to have some broader practice areas, not being laser focused on stuff because, you got a small town. You only have so many of some issues, but that's what they typically do. I'm not going to say like I have some big relationship with them. Not really. They did actually, years ago when I was just getting started, before I had my own office, they offered to let me use office space in the basement of their office, which I thought was pretty nice. Now, when I tried to actually get them to follow through on that, it was really difficult to do so, but that's okay because they offered it for free. It's not like I paid anything. And then that didn't work out. Communication was kind of sketchy. And it was like, all right, well, I'll just go open my own law office. So I rented my own space. It was not a big deal. It was very nice. We had a great conversation and stuff around that, but ultimately it didn't fall through. So just kind of laying out the ducks here. But I did not encounter these guys much. I didn't do anything related to workman's comp or anything like that. They offered to refer me a few of like meth addicts and stuff that come through for criminal stuff. And they never really wanted to deal with that. And I was like, nah, that's okay. I'm good. I'm good finding meth addicts on my own. Nevertheless, we have very minimal overall interaction, but I do know them. And David Schneider is the attorney on this case. Montagraph hired him. They served me somewhere around, was it December 13th, I think, that they actually served me this lawsuit, which is right before my birthday and Christmas and New Year's. So around December 29th or 30th, something like that, I reached out to say, hey, it's really hard to hire a lawyer over the holiday. And despite, like, I could represent myself, but I'm kind of a goofball. I would rather hire a professional and do this in a professional manner. So can I have an extension until January 31st? Very normal type of request. 1 month extension. In Minnesota, you don't file a lawsuit to start it. You serve someone with the lawsuit. That starts everything. And then you file it when you decide to go into the court for whatever you need. So I was like, hey, can I just get an extension to respond? I called, left a message, and I sent an email. Now, I never got an out of office reply or whatever, but allegedly Mr. Schneider was out of office and in Europe. I don't have any reason to disbelieve that. There just was no message confirming that. That was something he said later. Whatever. I never got a call back. I never got any information. So I contacted the office a couple more times, leaving voicemail messages. I don't remember how many times I did all of this, but I also left messages with people who were there. And again, none of them ever informed me that Mr. Schneider was out of office. So I was just waiting for a response from a colleague on this issue that I thought we could work out. On January 12th, I called again, left another message. And on January 13th, I physically went into the office, say, okay, maybe I can just go. I've got some time. I could just sit down in the lobby and wait for him to be off the phone or whatever and talk to him. Well, I did not know at that point that they had already filed for default in my case on the 13th of January. So here I am, the asshole, still just trying to have an initial communication with the opposing party and say, hey, can we just do a little basic extension? And turns out the entire time they were just ignoring me intentionally, which is what they ended up admitting in their affidavit with their motion for default judgment. So then I had to go ahead and file a motion for extension with the court, explaining everything that happened, laying out that I made very good faith efforts to contact these people. They just never got back to me. And the court granted my motion for an extension to January 31st. Well, then January 31st rolls around and some people were kind of confused as to why we hadn't answered. Well, why we hadn't answered at that time was that my lawyer apparently had worked out an arrangement for another subsequent extension with Montagraph's lawyer because Montagraph's lawyer wanted to amend his original complaint. So he wanted to amend the complaint and refile it because the first complaint had problems, namely a lot of missing stuff that would be required to sustain a cause of action in Minnesota. Now, I will humbly assert very basically that they're still missing those things. Like those things still don't exist and their amended complaint is effectively worthless, but they did amend the complaint and added some stuff to it. And so then following that, my attorney had 14 days to respond. We responded just a couple days ago, and now they have 7 days from that day to do their response, which is not out yet, but that will come at some point in the future. Now, another facet of this being fully open and full disclosure on everything. Again, this is all about what's happened so far. In my frustration at having to file a motion with the court to grant an extension that should have been granted through basic professional courtesy, I was commenting on a locals exclusive stream that you have to pay to access. And I had said that Montagraph's lawyer was being an absolute cunt about not calling me back and intentionally not calling me back. And I was marveling at this because my experience with him has not been that type of lawyer, right? So I don't know. And maybe I pissed this guy off at some point. I have no idea. But so I mentioned that he was being an absolute cunt, in my opinion. And he subsequently filed an ethics complaint against me for sex-based harassment and discrimination. No, I'm not fucking kidding. For sex-based harassment and discrimination for my use of the word cunt, apparently. Okay. Pepsi Man. I see you spurging out in the chat. My friend, when I was contacting Montagraph's lawyer, I was unrepresented at the time. So there you go. I mean, you can rage about it all day, but I wasn't represented. And he admitted in his affidavit that he just chose not to contact me back, not because he was concerned about represented parties. He would have no information on whether or not I was represented. But at the time I was contacting him, I was not. Now, please, I know you are the assigned retard now, but can you keep it in for just a few minutes? Can you try? And no, I did not say on stream I paid him the retainer already. I said on stream, which is also in the affidavit, if you care to fucking read, that I intended to pay the lawyer, but I had not at the time that I said that. And I actually said I would intended to pay him the next day, and I didn't until a couple days later when I was actually represented. But again, what are these silly facts? Oh my God. It doesn't matter though, because at all times concerned, I was unrepresented. Now, had he contacted me back, I could have told him who I intended to have hired. We could have discussed all of that, but he never did. So anyway, it doesn't matter. The extension was granted. So back onto the story. And Pepsi Man, for all of your spurging, I will be ignoring you for the rest of the stream. Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to sit there and just go off, jerking off into your own mouth about how much you know about this case, but you really don't know much of anything at all. So it'll be pointless to address it. But I wanted to get that initial stuff out there. All right. So that brings us to this initial complaint, which we will grab after these quick super chats here. Bobby Joe T says, the locals chat, not for the faint of heart. It's really like, okay, sure. Psychosis 29 says, Baker's 7. Cheers to you and all the other degens in the chat. Rocco Rockwell says, can we engage in a Long Island drinking contest? I'm currently 64 ounces deep. Oh my God, no. I will probably not be drinking much tonight because I want to wake up for the trial tomorrow. The Squid says, I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy and it's got me thinking. Do you think American Grand Wizards have their own special killing curse? Like Wiggly Wigger, kill that N-word? Maybe. I have no idea. I'm not super into Harry Potter. Maybe they have that in the game. Squizguard 2322 says, my channel is under attack. Jeremy Hambley is going to sue you for copyright infringement. No, he knows it's done in a wonderful homage. Bastiat says, Nick, can I have a toast? Me and my wife have just given birth to our firstborn child, my son, Benjamin Franklin Rittenhouse V. He's healthy, happy, and the best part of my life. I'm already ready for another. Cheers to Ben. Is his name really Benjamin Franklin Rittenhouse V? I'm going to cheers him anyway, whether it's true or not. That was funny enough for me. What's up, Joe? Good logic. How you doing, brother? Tall Skinny Geek says this is a highlighted message. It is. It is. Cheers to Benjamin Franklin Rittenhouse V, the best named kid, maybe in the history of humanity. Whether it's real or not is irrelevant because it's real in here. In here. All right. Let's do it. Here we go. Eat calamari. Welcome to paralegal status. Okay, so here we go. This is Steve Quest versus Nicholas Rekieta and RekietaLaw LLC, which is silly for reasons we'll get into later. RekietaLaw LLC has nothing to do with this show or anything associated with this show. RekietaLaw LLC is my legal practice. Rekieta Media LLC owns the show content, which is actually listed on the YouTube page. But I am Nick Rekieta of RekietaLaw, but RekietaLaw is not associated with these activities at all. So really, RekietaLaw should be removed from this entirely, but that's fine. It doesn't matter in the long run. This is the amended complaint. So again, there was an initial complaint. This is the amended complaint. Now, really, the amended complaint here is the initial complaint, and then he actually has an amendment section, so you'll know what was actually added to it. So, oh, and by the way, I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe, not so much for the lawsuit, but more for poor Mark Randazza's heart medication, as he has to listen to me talk about my own case. Can we get prayer hands in the chat? Big deep prayers for Mark Randazza, a true champion and hero of free speech and defending the First Amendment and defending free speech as a concept, who will have to deal with the fact that I am reading my lawsuit and talking about it online. And I know that he is probably going to have a heart attack from it. So that'll be fun. Stegas says, glad to hear you made it on PKA. I'm a fan of Kyle's, and those D8 gummies they shill are great. This reminded me that I'd love to see Wendigoon on here sometime. He's been on PKA a few times. He's a super based and fun dude. I've heard of Wendigoon from the chat, but I'm unfamiliar with him entirely. So here we go. Here we go. That's a lot of prayers. That's a lot of prayers. Parties. So yeah, plaintiff complains of defendants in each of them and for cause thereof states and alleges. Oh, you know what? I'm just realizing something. Guys, I have to take a short break. I need to redact a couple things in this document that are hold on. Sorry. I meant to do this earlier, but I completely forgot, and we don't want to do that. It's not much. It shouldn't take me too long to do so. See that one. Okay. Just waiting 1 second. Hey, what's up, WeFac? How you doing, man? All right, let's get that one. Okay, I think that should be all the necessary redactions. Can we redact the damn document? Okay. Can we apply it? Do I not get to redact this? That would be real fucking annoying. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Just a second. Fucking Adobe. And the courts. It's not going to let me redact this. Because there's a signature that the court put on there that's unverified. Thanks, court. Stupid. Maybe I can redact this one. Hold on. I just really want to redact. I can't do that one. Close. Oh my God. This is a disaster. I fucking hate this. You have no idea how frustrating it is. Save a copy and reopen to edit this down. I did that. Save as. Save as. Let's see. Redact. Save. Whee! Okay, I think I got. Hold on. Can I now redact it? Nope. Fucking hell. Open. Are you serious? I did save a copy and reopen it. Fucking kill me. Oh well. It's already public, so I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind. I was just going to be polite. But I won't do it now. All right. Doesn't matter. It's all publicly available to everybody who wants to get it. So not much that I was just going to be polite again. So anyway, defendant Nicholas Rekieta resides in the city of Spicer, county of Kandiyohi, state of Minnesota. He's an attorney licensed in the state of Minnesota, owner of a law firm called RekietaLaw, LLC, a limited liability company duly registered pursuant to Minnesota Statute 322C, also named as defendant. Defendants maintain an office presence in the city of Owatonna, county of Steele, state of Minnesota, and also in the city of Spicer, county of Kandiyohi, and state of Minnesota. I mean, kinda. At all times relevant, I have a registered agent, but I guess. At all times relevant, defendant Nicholas Rekieta has resided in the county of Kandiyohi, state of Minnesota. At all times relevant, and in addition to practicing law, defendant Nicholas Rekieta, and on behalf of defendant RekietaLaw, LLC, not true, has regularly produced videos posted on the internet where he discusses legal matters as well as matters unrelated to his law practice. Video production, as described herein, produces income for defendants. The plaintiff, Steve Quest, is an entertainer, artist, and video producer. I don't know if the first two are true, but I guess he produces videos, who resides in the state of Colorado. Historically, Steve Quest used the name Montagraphy as a trade name for the services he offered and videos he creates. Don't look up Montagraphy. Don't look into that one. You really probably don't want to find out what he was doing. There. As a trade name for the services he offered and videos he creates, at all times relevant, Steve Quest also used the name Montagraph and Monty, derived from the name Montagraphy, as well as October Rains, as trade names and later as online screen names for video and computer productions. Whew. At all times relevant, defendant Nicholas Rekieta created informative videos. Oh, thank you. Which he published using the name of defendant RekietaLaw, LLC. Nope. No, they're separate things, my friend. In addition to offering legal advice and analysis, defendant Nicholas Rekieta engages in hyperbole and comedy. Oh, do I? Well, it's an interesting thing to add there because that kind of messes with your claim. All right. Upon information and belief, defendant Nicholas Rekieta writes, directs, produces, and appears in all such videos published using the name of defendant RekietaLaw LLC. I mean, I guess that's wrong because I don't produce any videos published using the name defendant RekietaLaw LLC, but and writes and directs and like that's a lot of work. I'm not so sure you can actually qualify what I do as that much work. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta will also appear on shows hosted by others as a guest. That's true. Yeah, I do that. All of these productions are designed primarily for electronic publication via the internet. Some are recorded for later publication and some are live streamed, but all work is done for profit as they are accompanied by online advertising. Yes, I do work for profit. That's true. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta will often appear with guests who make appearances from other physical locations, but all appear on a single screen. Some of the discussions are characterized as law-splaining, where legal topics and lawsuits are explained while defendant Nicholas Rekieta drinks Scotch whiskey. Now, it's not just Scotch, man. Today, this is a bourbon. Come on. At all times, relevant defendant RekietaLaw LLC is represented within these videos and appears in the form of a stylized logo. Defendants publish and post these videos on productions on YouTube, Rumble, and other hosting services. Well, that's nice. Amazing Wireless 2 says he accused you of comedy, so be more funny. I can't. I don't know how. He's wrong about so much. Defendants have engaged in false statements concerning plaintiff and published them, of which plaintiff and others have become aware. And others have become aware. Plaintiff has resided in a number of states of the Union, including Colorado and Illinois. Despite not being a Minnesota resident, plaintiff has seen and heard these false statements from observing, watching, and listening to the videos published by defendants on the internet, where defendants know these videos and live streams can be seen anywhere in the world by anyone with computer access. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta has made statements about plaintiff, knowing those statements were false. I do not know of any statements I made that were false that were not obvious jokes, but okay. Let's see how that goes. And knowing that by making those false statements about plaintiff, he would cause plaintiff harm. Oh no, never did I think that Montagraph would be harmed. That's ridiculous. How would words from my show harm Montagraph? Like, what possible harm could they do? In fact, I would wager they probably increased Montagraph's attention, maybe made him a little bit of extra money. Certainly would never set out to harm Montagraph. That'd be ridiculous. Again, the government issued him to me as a private retard that I have to take care of. I mean, I basically have a duty of care to him. Like, I can't cause him harm. The government will come after me. Way scarier than you, Dave. Okay. At all times, defendant Nicholas Rekieta made false statements about plaintiff. He did so knowing those false statements would be published, defamatory, slanderous, libelous. Well, I mean, now we're getting into the parts where you're accusing me of writing them down. Stop it. Why is the first thing this guy wants to do is to credit me with more work than I have ever done in my life and would cause plaintiff harm to his good name, credit, reputation, credit? Montagraph, did your credit score go down? Was it like, where I'm like, you know what, this Montagraph guy is out of your fucking melons. Melons are not safe. It's like, whoa, that credit score drops from a 683 to a 526. Like, what? Your credit? There are many such instances to reference, but 3 specific instances are described in paragraphs 6, 7, and 8 below. Okay. That'll be interesting, I'm guessing. Here we go. Here's 6. Wait. Okay, so a specific instance is described in paragraph 6. So here's the first specific instance, all right? On October 6, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta was a guest on a live stream program called Megan Fox Investigates for an interview about why defendant Nicholas Rekieta was banned from YouTube. During this live stream, defendant Nicholas Rekieta made various false statements of a sexual nature about plaintiff. Well, that doesn't really describe the incident. I'm disappointed now. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This number 7. On October 13th, 2022, defendants published a video in which another lawyer named Andrew, also known as Legal Mindset, appeared as a guest. During this published video, defendant Nicholas Rekieta accused plaintiff of disgusting crimes against children, pedophilia, then stated plaintiff, quote, should probably be shot in the fucking head. Doom, doom, doom. On October 18th, 2022, defendants published a video with several guests who were named as lawyers Stephen Gosney, Sean Martin, and Kurt Mueller, serving as a panel where a meme of guns, AK-47s, pointed at plaintiff's head, accompanied by defendant Nicholas Rekieta making false statements about plaintiff. Count 1, defamation and defamation per se. Plaintiff realleges each and every claim, allegation, and paragraph herein in further complaints. All right, so further complaints. It's just complains. You don't need the T. It'd be complains. All right. Amazing Wireless 2 said Monty would probably be cool if he wasn't such a bitch. Oh, shit. Defendants, through managers, administrators, and officials acting on behalf of defendants and within the scope of their employment, including defendant Nicholas Rekieta, caused to be published to third persons with no privilege, false and defamatory statements, as alleged above, to wit, that plaintiff engaged in criminal conduct, is a pedophile. Whoa. Pervert, and whose life is worthless and should be ended. Oh, no. Oh, no. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta was working and acting in the scope of his employment enterprise as a creator and producer of videos that were published for profit when he defamed plaintiff. None of that, Matt. Like, that's the word soup that lawyers do that is completely irrelevant. First of all, for-profit video, it doesn't matter if it's for profit or not for profit. Like, there's zero relevance to the case here. But like, all this stuff is weird. When he defamed plaintiff, defendants published the aforesaid defamatory statements with knowledge of the falsity and with malice in wanton disregard for the truthfulness or effect upon plaintiff, and or with reckless indifference to the effect of such publication upon plaintiff, all of which was reasonably foreseeable to defendant RekietaLaw LLC. No. First of all, I don't know that anything I said is false. In fact, everything I've said is based on what I have learned about Montagraph that has existed for over a decade prior to me interacting with him the first time. Like, I interacted with Montagraph first back in 2019, in which Mr. Medicare, Jim, was educating me about Montagraph, who had filed a similarly frivolous lawsuit based on First Amendment protected speech against a guy named, a guy named Jake Morfinos. Morfinos won his lawsuit against Montagraph. Interestingly, Morfinos said many of the same things that I said, because they weren't defamatory. All right. But again, RekietaLaw LLC doesn't have anything to do with this. A reasonable person under similar circumstances who received these defamatory publications would undoubtedly construe the false statements by defendant Nicholas Rekieta as repeatedly imputing criminal conduct involving moral turpitude upon plaintiff. Is it illegal to have sex with melons? I'm not so sure it's illegal to have sex with a melon. What about other stuff? He made that snuff movie, The Umbrella Man Part 2. I think he made a Part 3 and Part 4 as well. And what I've heard about Part 3 was very, very disturbing. Part 2 is very, very disturbing. Holy shit. Yeah, not sure there's anything false, but it's not criminal to make the movie that he made. But he made it. He's proud of it. It's on his IMDb page. How is that false? Or criminal? Criminal conduct. What I did say that he's a pedophile, I think. But it's not actually illegal to be a pedophile. It probably should be, I guess. I don't recall accusing him of a criminal act, just being a gross, disgusting, degenerate pervert. I mean, that I'm pretty sure I've made clear. And he is. I mean, that's obvious. Bad Vibe says, say hello to the Karate Queen. Oh, and ask him about John Benet Ramsey. Yeah, we're not going to get into Montagraph and John Benet Ramsey and the rumors around that whole thing. I mean, Montagraph, the shit that I've said about Montagraph pales in comparison to everything that other people have said about Montagraph. Oh, my God. All right. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' malicious and defamatory statements, with respect to plaintiff personally, plaintiff's employment, business, and profession have suffered damage. What employment, Monty? What employment? You notice that Montagraph has not mentioned his employment? His reputation in his profession. What profession? And in the community, and have suffered. Oh. So let's dissect this sentence again, because this is a doozy of a sentence. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's malicious and defamatory statements. Boom. Prefatory clause. With respect to plaintiff personally, that's an apposition, I think, where we have a separated by 2 commas. And a positive, maybe, an apposition. Plaintiff's employment. Now we're at a list. Business and profession have suffered damage. Okay. Now we're at another list. He should have separated these by semicolons. His reputation in his profession and in the community and have suffered. Okay. I'm not sure what that and is there. And plaintiff continues suffering loss of standing and opportunity for growth. All right. I don't know what most of that means because the English is not so good. The Squid says Monty has been going broke back melon on Tug recently too. Oh yeah, Monty's been going hard on Tug as well. Monty doesn't like when people don't do what he wants, so he goes after them relentlessly. He's super fucking weird. Like that's the biggest thing with Monty is he is super fucking weird, and he will go. We'll have to probably pull up all the memes Montagraph has made of me because they're some of his best work. As a wait, where are we? Yeah, here we go. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' mean-spirited, come on, mean-spirited, amoral, and illegal actions. What illegal actions? What are you talking? Words and deeds, slander, libel, and false statements. They're libelous, slanderous, false statementifying. Plaintiff has suffered from distress, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of reputation, loss of enjoyment of life, lost income, wages, money, and plaintiff has incurred attorney's fees and expenses and other serious damages. Okay, Monty. Sure you have. Count 2. Now, as a brief aside to this, count 2 and 3, I'm going to say at the outset, are insufficiently pled in Minnesota. To have intentional infliction of emotional distress or negligent infliction of emotional distress, IIED or NIED, either one. When you say that you've suffered emotional distress, you have to prove the emotional distress tangibly. And it's weird that Schneider didn't plead this at all, because I figured he would know, but you have to tangibly plead emotional distress. So you can't just say, I was distressed. You have to show how you were distressed. And usually that manifests with visits to a medical facility. Like, the distress has to be sufficient to go to medical care. Like, it has to be that bad. You can't just be like, I had a bad day. He doesn't even, I don't think he even pleads that he missed work, which would be potentially a way to do this. Like, you miss a bunch of work. You go through something, you get, oh my gosh, I had to miss 8 days of work. I was laying in bed. The stress tore my stomach apart. I couldn't eat well. I couldn't sleep. You have to lay these things out. What emotional distress did you suffer? The reality is Montagraph didn't suffer any emotional distress at all. He's lying. He's a liar. His lawyer is facilitating in this. Now, to his lawyer's credit, he probably has no idea and probably doesn't care. But so I'm not accusing him of anything untoward here. I'm accusing Montagraph of being untoward with his own counsel. But Montagraph didn't suffer any distress, and he doesn't plead the distress. So his pleading is insufficient on both of these issues. I just want to get that out there as a legal matter. He's got a real problem with these claims. So, as a direct and proximate result of defendant's continuing wrongful conduct, baseless accusations, and false statements, defendant have caused plaintiff to suffer severe emotional distress and trauma that no reasonable person could be expected to endure. And that's a critical point of this. So, getting back to the emotional distress claims in Minnesota and really anywhere, as a general rule, you have to do something to someone else that is so far outside the bounds of human decency that no person could be expected to endure it. And it has to actually cause emotional distress. Like, all those are the elements. So the distress has to actually occur, and it has to be so much distress that no one should be expected to be able to deal with it at all. It has to be bad. How you get like negligent infliction of emotional distress is like someone's walking with their kid on the sidewalk and a car drives up on the sidewalk and runs their child over. Right? Like, way outside of your expectations here. That's the type of stuff, like, it haunts you. You have to go to therapy for it. Not, he said words about me on the internet and I hurt. I mean, it's fucking insane. All right. So, like Brooks, yes, like Daryl Brooks, like what he did, that both intentional and negligent inflictions of emotional distress all over that guy. That's be the civil stuff. For the criminal stuff, obviously, Daryl Brooks, that's different. His criminal stuff was charged out. You could bring civil complaints against him, but there's no money to take. All right, back to this. The course of defendant's wrongful conduct was so extreme and outrageous that it goes beyond all possible bounds of decency and is utterly intolerable in a civilized society and within the state of Minnesota. So again, he's hitting the elements here. But how? I made fun of an idiot on the internet beyond all possible bounds of decency and utterly intolerable in a civilized society. Defendants, by their extreme and outrageous conduct complained of herein, intentionally caused plaintiff to suffer severe emotional distress. This is the original complaint. This is why they had to amend it. All this stuff. Notice what he's saying here. He's just saying the elements. He's not actually saying how any of this stuff occurred. He's just saying that it did. This is a bare recitation of the elements of an intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is an insufficiently pled document. Now, they've amended it. I would argue the amendments are still insufficiently pled. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's illegal actions. Again, what illegal actions? Words and deeds. So wait, is it defendant's illegal actions, words, and deeds, or is it defendant's illegal actions, words, and deeds? Plaintiff has, this is bad writing. Plaintiff has suffered from distress, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of reputation, loss of enjoyment of life, lost income, and has incurred attorney's fees and expenses. Again, this is just a recitation of some of the ways to satisfy the element, but there's no facts to support any of this. So very, very nice on that one. Good job. Amazing Wireless 2 says, the day I file a lawsuit over things said on the internet is the day I become Monty, a cum-guzzling faggot. Wow. Strong words. Careful, Amazing Wireless 2. Monty will hire me to sue you. All right, count 2, negligent infliction of emotional distress. Same thing. We're going to have the same thing. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's wrongful conduct, mean-spirited words and deeds, defendant engaged in a direct invasion of the plaintiff's rights by their slander, libel, and other like willful, wanton, or malicious conduct, which caused plaintiff to reasonably fear for his life. What? Oh my God, it keeps getting dumber. Defendant's wrongful conduct, failure to act, redact, apologize, or attempt to withdraw defamatory statements and suggestions that plaintiff should be killed were negligent and a gross disregard for plaintiff's well-being and were in direct violation of plaintiff's human rights as a human being. Look, you can always suggest that someone should be killed. That's an opinion. Well, that person should probably be killed. You can express it. It may be distasteful. It may be nasty. It might be mean-spirited, but you can do it. You can absolutely do that. Very silly. Speaking of things that you can absolutely do, let's do this. Look, guys, Montagraph is a malnourished, ugly weirdo. And statistically, some of you guys might be delving into that malnourished area. Now, you're not ugly like Montagraph. You are just malnourished. Handsome as fuck, but malnourished. What you need is a little nourishment in your life. And the best way to do that is Field of Greens, the sponsor of tonight's show. One of the sponsors of tonight's show. Field of Greens is a wonderful, I don't want to call it a diet supplement because it's just a food. It's not a supplement. It's a food. It's ground up fruits and vegetables and you know, some antioxidants and all sorts of that good shit in there. It's low sugar. It's low carb. This type of stuff is, if you're on like a low carb diet or low carb eating plan, this will work for you. One serving of this has 3 total carbohydrates. 2 of it are from fiber and 1 from sugar. So, I mean, we're talking about this is very friendly to those type of diets. What you do is you get yourself your water bottle. You get a scoop of Field of Greens. It's 10 grams of this stuff, but it's like this fine powder. And then you just shake it. Shake up the water bottle and drink it. That'll get you a serving of fruit and a serving of vegetables. I tend to drink 2 of these a day because I don't eat a ton of vegetables during the day. I'm busy. I also eat very rarely generally. I have one like big meal a day, And then the rest of it, I might get a snack here or there. If I get kind of hammered, I might have late night ramen or something. But I often am lacking in fruits and vegetables. This is a great way to get them. And it's not a drink. It's not a juice. It's an actual food. It's just in a water suspension, if you will. We want to get chemically on this one. But best part, it actually tastes fucking good. That's the best part of it. I enjoy drinking it. I've drank like Naked Juice Green Machine and shit like that. I don't like that stuff. It tastes like a lawnmower. This stuff doesn't taste like a lawnmower. It doesn't taste like, oh, it's like ground up kale. It doesn't taste like that at all. It's got good flavors to it. This one's a citrusy one. I have wild berry upstairs, and they're both very delicious. You don't have to put them in water. You can put them in other stuff too. But go to here, use promo code NOSE, and get a little bit of money off of your order. Save yourself some change. Try it out. You might like it. I do. I was very surprised. I was like, I don't know if I want to sell your veggie drink or whatever, but maybe if it's good. And I tried it, and it was surprisingly very, very good. So fieldofgreens.com, links in the description on both videos. Feel free to check it out. And I hope you enjoy. Let's see. Romo Drummer says Susan already did step down, has been replaced with YouTube's chief product officer, Neil Mohan. Yeah, I have heard this. Spectral Citizen, welcome to Paralegal. And SFOX15 says, can you build a box fort while defending this case, please? Yes. Yes, no judges allowed. Grounds. Map Hanger says Montagraph is so desperate that he would lick the sweat off a dead man's balls. Gross. Gross. Okay. Here we go. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish up this document. We're almost done, I think. Maybe not. Finish up this document. We'll read the YouTube super chats, and then we'll pop on over to Rumble for the rest of the show. So we got a little bit of time. Oh, did I put the shit full stream on Rumble? Save. Boom. Okay. So the link's in the description now. You don't have to go yet. We have a little time here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Rights of the human being. Defendant's actions, words. Is Monty a human being? Defendant's actions, words, and deeds have caused plaintiff to suffer severe mental and emotional distress. How? How, Dave? Dave, you know the pleading standards in Minnesota. You have to say how. You can't just say that it happened. What happened to him? You don't have this in any fact in your case. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's illegal actions, words, and deeds, plaintiff has suffered distress, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of reputation, loss of enjoyment of life, lost income, and incurring attorney fees, expensive, and other serious damages. Amendments. Okay, now we're on the amendments. This is just a weirdly written, weirdly drafted complaint in all ways. He realleges every claim. Okay, plaintiff hereby amends the complaint originally served upon defendants and renews his request and demand for retraction of defamatory statements by defendants against plaintiff. There's never been a demand for retraction of defamatory statements. What is he talking about? When did this happen? Plaintiff hereby amends the complaint. Maybe it's in the prayer for relief. We'll have to check. Plaintiff hereby amends the complaint originally served upon defendants and offers the following additional general complaints concerning defendants' defamatory statements about plaintiff, that such statements were false, that such statements referred to the plaintiff, and that such statements were published. These statements include, oh, you know what? Maybe we should. Now we'll do it. These statements include instances where defendant Nicholas Rekieta told his audience plaintiff is a faggot, that plaintiff sucks little boys' cocks. That's not what I said, Monty. Dave, it's not what I said. That plaintiff has created a snuff film starring a female child actor. You did. That the plaintiff created a snuff film starring a male child actor. Wasn't that The Umbrella Man 3? I'm pretty sure. And the plaintiff is a retard. Well, yeah. Some of the comments about plaintiff are accusations of moral turpitude and violation of law. Which one? This one would be if I said it, but I didn't say that. I said he probably likes sucking little boys' cocks. That's what I said. I think I said he's always liked sucking little boys' cocks. I think that's what I said, but I didn't say that he does. Very rude. Very rude. Violation of law and defamation per se. In addition to defaming plaintiff, defendants made comments which were hurtful to plaintiff, including those leading to emotional distress. Defendants, this background image. Defendants' defamatory statements have tended to so harm the reputation of the plaintiff that it lowers his esteem in the community. What community? How is his esteem lowered? What community is he in? Where is he? You don't even say where he lives in this document. You just say he has lived in Colorado and Illinois. It's Colorado, by the way. He lives in Colorado. Deters others from associating or dealing with plaintiff, injured his character. Was he playing D&D? Subjected plaintiff to ridicule, contempt, and distrust, and has degraded and disgraced plaintiff in the eyes of others. No plaintiff did that. I didn't do that. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta has said these things and others repeatedly and continues to defame plaintiff in published videos. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta usually defames plaintiff with a straight face. Well, at least it's not a gay face, or Monty might try and mount it. Oh, my God. Nothing about most of his defamatory conduct suggests humor, levity, or that he's joking. Really? What about the part on the Megan Fox show that you're citing? Dave, Bubby, Hubby, Cutie, what? Pumpkin. You know the part on the one on the Megan Fox one where I said, this is obviously a joke, but what's not a joke is that Monty fucked a melon? Do you remember that, where I said this is, and I said specifically, now despite this deadpan delivery, this is obviously a joke? Do you remember when I said that, Dave? Like I predicted the future with that comment. I made it with a straight face and said in the statement that it was a joke, but what wasn't a joke was him fucking the melon. All right, here we go. Oh my God. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta never couches his criticism of plaintiffs using terms suggesting he's merely offering his opinion. Wait, what? Finally, defendant Nicholas Rekieta has never retracted any defamatory statements of plaintiff, nor has he apologized. Oh, no. Why would I do that? Specific instances, examples of defamation against plaintiff, mean-spirited statements, and statements which intend to cause harm or were negligently made to cause harm include, okay, thank God. Here we go. Here's what it says. On October 6, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta was a guest on a live stream program called Megan Fox Investigates for an interview about why defendant was banned from YouTube. During this live stream, defendant made various cruel, false statements and those of a sexual nature about plaintiff. Specifically, he stated plaintiff was a retarded man. That's the part that I think I said was a joke after the whole retard ADA thing. Like you... why is it so hard? Why? I know I'm bad at jokes, but I didn't think they were this hard. I have so much more respect for stand-up comedians. I take back every defamatory thing I've ever said about stand-up comedians. Oh, God. Specifically, was a retarded man, suggested plaintiff had sex with a watermelon, and that plaintiff had stated he routinely fists himself. Prove you don't, Monty. Oh my God. On October 13th, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta published a video in which another lawyer named Andrew appeared as a guest. Legal Mindset. During this published video, defendant accused plaintiff of pedophilia. Defendant Nicholas Rekieta stated, quote, plaintiff has always been into sucking little boy cock, which is weird, but that's his thing. Look, I'm not here to stop him. I'm just saying he should probably be shot in the fucking head. Montagraph, you're a fucking faggot. Everybody knows you're a faggot. Clip this all you want and sue me if you want, you fucking child molesting fucking faggot. Do that. How about you try that? Well, that was spicy. On October 28th, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta published a video in which he talked about plaintiff making a snuff film about a kid and further saying, as a matter of fact, plaintiff made such film, further suggesting plaintiff made a nasty movie about a kid, and that's why plaintiff does not have a good name. He did. It's just, well, we're gonna get into this in a minute. I gotta resist. I resist it. Further, plaintiff stated, as a matter of fact, that nobody goes, huh? Who's Steve Quest? Who's this Montagraph? Oh, he's a fine, upstanding citizen. Nobody does. I've never met anybody who does. Have you? And bro, I'll take my name over yours. Your good name is garbage, and that's no joke. That's the straight talk. Yeah. Those are opinion statements, Dave. But okay. On December 22nd, 2022, defendant Nicholas Rekieta published a video. With several guests and stated, Monty, plaintiff, is a fucking retard. You're Monty dumb. Monty, you don't make any money. You're a weird broke person on the internet. I'd love to see your damages. Monty made a couple movies, and one of his movies is so derided as being pedophilic and violent, there are videos about it. He got removed from every streaming and broadcasting service there was because this is creepy shit with kids. That's true. On January 11th, defendant Nicholas Rekieta published a video on YouTube in which he called plaintiff a retard, that the ADA had assigned defendant Nicholas Rekieta a retard who's gone rogue, suggesting plaintiff is a retard assigned by the ADA to oversee defendant's business. They put it in a lawsuit. They put that in a lawsuit. They actually did it. There's a lawyer who actually wrote my ADA retard bit down in a lawsuit. This is a statement of fact. I didn't suggest the plaintiff is a retard assigned by the ADA to oversee my business. I stated it explicitly. Oh my God. I can't believe you put that in the document, Dave. Why? He's never joking. Look at what he said about the ADA assigning him a pet retard. Oh, kitty. How is my life real? Defendant's specific defamatory published comments were made with ill will toward plaintiff and for improper purposes and to profit from them. None of that has anything to do with defamation or either of the emotional distress claims. Further, they were made without cause or regard to the consequences of such publication, with knowledge these specific statements were false, or without conducting an investigation into the truth of such statements before making them. Finally, after learning these or any specific statements were not based in fact, defendants have to date refused to retract them. Never been asked. I mean, let's be clear. I would refuse to retract them, but he's never asked me to retract them as far as I've ever seen. I don't have an email asking me to retract them. And Dave, you never talked to me. You never said, hey, you know, we could probably clear this up if you'd retract those statements or whatever. I wouldn't, but you never did. Like, what? This is the first time I'm stating that I wouldn't do it, but you didn't ask. Okay. Amazing Wireless 2 says, for the record, I never thought they assigned you a pet retard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good God. Stop it, man. Okay, so plaintiff hereby amends the complaint originally served upon defendants and states the defendant's false, mean-spirited, hurtful words published to others have caused followers and devotees of defendants to search for, find, then stalk plaintiff. Wait, what? Now, wait a minute. Is Monty accusing me of creating stalkers of him? Oh my God. One of Montagraph's moderators emails everybody I know like every day. I shouldn't say everybody I know, just a whole bunch of people. And the only reason that he doesn't email me is because he's a convicted stalker. And I told him that if he contacted me again, I would press for a restraining order against him immediately. And I'd probably be able to get it because he's a convicted stalker. Man has problems. But he still emails a bunch of people I know every day. Just, I think if it's not every day, it's really fucking close. Let's see. The stalk plaintiff come to his home, follow him in vehicles as plaintiff drove a motor vehicle, then to publish pictures and videos of plaintiff while driving. Wait, what the fuck is this? This is all just a flat out fucking lie. This is straight lying to the court right here. Dave, this is disgraceful, thus placing plaintiff into the zone of danger of a physical impact, causing fear of his own safety and causing emotional distress requiring care and counseling. This is a flat fucking lie. Like, this is offensive to the notions of any decency. First of all, never have I suggested that anyone ever interact with Montagraph. Ever. Second of all, I caused someone to go to his home and follow him in a vehicle. Montagraph's a fucking lunatic and probably just believes this is happening. Montagraph also calls government officials on their personal phone numbers and talks to them out of nowhere. Monty, if someone's following you, it's likely the Secret Service, you fucking retard. Holy shit. Wherefore, plaintiff specifically prays that the practices of defendants complained of herein be adjudged, decreed, and declared in violation of the rights secured by plaintiff by the laws of the state of Minnesota. Huh? Defendants be required to make plaintiff whole and that a permanent prohibitory injunction be issued prohibiting defendants from engaging in the practices complained of herein. Plaintiff be awarded compensatory damages in the amount to be established at trial. The judgment be entered against the defendants in a sum in excess of $50,000 together with his costs, interest, and disbursements of the attorney's fees. The court grants such other and further relief as it deems fair and equitable. Signed by David W. Schneider. A lawyer signed this. Here's an interesting part. Here's an acknowledgement. The undersigned hereby acknowledges that costs, disbursements, and reasonable attorneys and witness fees may be awarded pursuant to Minnesota Statute 549-211 Subdivision 1 to the party against whom the allegations in this pleading are asserted. That'd be fun. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? God damn it. I had my case thing pulled up. Now I got to pull it up again. It refreshed. Stupid government sites that just automatically refresh. So here we go. There's exhibit lists. There's correspondence. Let's see what this document is. Oh, it's just correspondence. Is just the amended complaint. What's this exhibit list? Oh shit! I gotta get off this. I got to get off of this thing real quick. We got to read the YouTube super chats and then move to Rumble. I almost forgot. I got wrapped up in what I was doing. All right, here we go. Mario Carter 13 says, Nick missed a super chat. This is unjust enrichment. And then we've got Mike Rader says, just read your motion to dismiss. Randazza is fucking, or just read your motion to dismiss. Randazza is fucking excellent. Yes, it's a banger. And Monty and his lawyer, I don't think are at all prepared for what's in that document. It's fucking great. Comparison of Monty getting beat up by an MMA fighter, then suing you for throwing a paper airplane in his direction. Lol. Haas Knuckles says, Nick, it's a government program. Did you expect it to be anything other than a waste of resources? William Jefferson Clinton says, Hillary will deal with it. Thanks to my contact, Bill Clinton, who will definitely send Hillary to deal with Montagraph. Tara Rayner, all these women's faces on the streams were blurred. It's hilarious. Wish I could come to Vegas, but unjabbed, have to enter from your southern border. Lol. Yeah, I know. Really sucks because there's a couple people who from overseas who had expressed interest in coming and they just can't. I hope they change that fucking rule real soon. Lisa Compton says, no court Monday due to President's Day. God bless. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, that'll be interesting. Heyoka says, per sources, David Schneider, Montagraph ordered a box of condoms and 2 rolls of paper towels on Uber Eats the minute you went live. His counsel may be suspect. Mac Jerfy says, heard from the starter of all this Medicare lately. No, I have not. I heard he got swatted again the other day. Alex Jones says, Grand Wizards don't use black magic. Jacob McQuaid, Nick, is there a place to view the filings as part of the public record? I'm studying to be a paralegal, and taking a look at Randazza's document could be a good study tool. Yeah, it's all on the Minnesota court reporting, court records online. You can Google it. It's all free. This was the best change from COVID in Minnesota was that all Minnesota documents were now available online. You used to have to go physically into a courthouse to download them. And they paid you like you had to pay like $10 a document to print them off. IDK anymore says, hello, I am from India. Please come to village. I plead. We have ritual of high love and will offer women's of our people and food. Please come to India, please. Heyoka says, be right back on my way to India. I eat calamari says, going through courses to be a crime scene investigator and been loving a lot of your assessments of court trials. Also, used to be a whiskey sales rep. Tell me your favorite bourbon, scotch, and blended. My favorite is, well, it's a rye. Kentucky Owl Last Batch Rye, number 4, 10 years. This is my favorite whiskey that exists. My favorite scotch is like just a go-to Bowmore 15 Darkest, or what is it? I haven't had it in a long time. Fuck. Dalmore Cigar Malt. And then blended. I don't drink a ton of blended scotches. Scotches or whiskeys. I couldn't tell you what my favorite would be. The Gamers Conclave says, Nick finna litigation, this here situation. Not Heisenberg says, print it to PDF. Chris Clement says, just like Joe. Be like Joe and use paint to redact. I could have, but again, it's all public, so it's not a big deal. Mario Carter 13, labeling someone with hentai tags is clear sexual harassment. Are there balls or no balls on a cunt boy? Carlo V says, Nick is the Lenny Bruce of lawyers. Casey Moody live stream the Melon video and locals, then call the whole chat as witnesses. Ghosts of Recon says, Monty is a real waste of semen. Chris Clement says, Nick, did you see Susan is stepping down as CEO of YouTube? You should apply for her position. Can we get a goodbye toast to Susan? I guess. To Susan. Bye. Okay. Cannibal Smolikost. When did this guy pop back up? October. I haven't heard of him or seen him since the Medicare stream. Yeah, it was October. Joseph DeMartino says, see previous posts, need to grift, help. What, Joseph DeMartino? Did I read your previous post? I'll have to find it. Concert LD. Wait, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You are being sued for slander, defaming, etc. Yet the person suing you is making memes about you. Come on, man, just take my money. Yeah, well, I'll put him up on local or on Rumble. Heyoka says, due to your unfair portrayal of Montagraph, he can no longer make either money or young acquaintances while driving his ice cream truck. Hashtag nice creams. Kate C, aka Snake Plush Kitten, says, Nick, you really need to hire someone to read this document in a great Christopher Walken voice. That would get you 1 million views. I don't know about that. Poppy, welcome to Paralegal. John Jelaine says, for the RekietaLaw Legal Defense Fund. Oh, thank you. Tara Rayner says, you need to hire Dr. Shannon Curry to examine the plaintiff. Claims of mental damage need to be thoroughly investigated and provided to the court. Heyoka, Umbrella Man 3 was an interesting flick. The umbrellas were not paid enough for the strenuous activities they were subjected to. The melons were criminally underpaid. Mario Carter 13 says, if the fists don't fit, you must acquit. Noobjet says, if the fist doesn't fit, you must acquit. Lisa Compton, will you countersue for frivolous lawsuit and demand legal fees? Well, the stream isn't over yet. The stream isn't over yet. We'll see. We will see. Free Flyer 1978 says, sounds like that lawyer is just collecting his retainer and doing as his client wishes. Hope the check was big. Wait. I have a thing for this. Oh, why would it?
I doubt it.
There we go. Heyoka, Dave Schneider hates melons but loves frivolous lawsuits. Hashtag Rekieta offensive to decency. Loser in a suit. It is surreal to see this because I was rewatching the Montagraph streams with Jimbo and you like an hour before this stream. Those are good, simple times, weren't they? Man, I loved that stream. I miss those days sometimes. Rael says, new name for your law panels, a pegging of lawyers. The Ava Blink says, hey, Nick, I got a guy in South Carolina that will take care of problems apparently for free on the side of the road. He's 0-1, though. And Montagraph says, I suffer from multiple personality disorder and schizophrenia. Please don't discriminate. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. That is the show on YouTube. We're moving over to Rumble exclusive. All right. Rumble exclusive. Pop on over there. And we will finish this with the rest of the the next document, my document, going back from my lawyer. So we will pop over there. I will see you there in 20 seconds or so. Wait, young Luigi says, hey, Nick, been watching some of your streams since the Depp trial. Amazing channel. Thank you for the good laughs. Hey, thank you, man. And Romo Drummer says, any idea what's happening with the Dumpster Brothers trial? I want to watch it so badly. Oh, dude, it happened. They didn't air it. It wasn't broadcast. The dad was found guilty and sentenced to 14 years in prison. The son was found not guilty. So really sucks. All right, guys. We'll see you over on Rumble in just a bit. Peace. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,